Alright, so on number one, what x values would make that function equal to 0? It would be negative 1, 2, and 4. Those will be our x-intercepts. So I'm just going to put negative 1, a dot, 2, and 4. And so a cubic function with three x's should generally look like that. So that's basically what I'm going to draw. Okay, I'm not going to, they don't really ask me like where it goes through the y-axis, so I'm not going to worry about that right now, but just kind of, we're making a fairly rough sketch here. You guys know how I could find the y-intercept? What is the x value of any y-intercept going to be? 0. So that means if you put in 0 for x, that will tell you the y-intercept. So that would be like 1 times negative 2 times negative 4 should be 8. So that's way off. It should be a lot taller than I drew it. I'm not going to draw it, but it would be like all the way up there. That's really steep. Actually, when they say sketch, I don't even think they meant for us to do graph paper maybe, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Graph paper helps. Number 3. What are the zeros of the function? What are the roots of the function? Right. I'm going to write those in order. Negative 5, negative 3, 0. What's different about number 3? Yeah. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a negative in front. And what's that going to do to the graph? It's going to turn our cubic graph upside down. So it'll look more like that. So it's a very rough sketch. Alright, number 5, what are the zeros of that function? What x values make those equal to 0? Okay, right. Negative 2 and 0. 0, since x is squared, 0 would be a double root. Okay, that means it's going to bounce at that spot. So, let's see, negative 2 and 0. 0 is a double root. Still a cubic function. Still has 3 x's in it. So I'm going to put a dot, negative 2 and 0. It's going to come up and then bounce at 0. That's what a double root does.
What does it look like if something's a triple root?
It gets flat at that point and then goes through. Hopefully there's an odd that's a triple root. Yeah, number 9 is a triple root. Alright, number 7. What are the zeros of number 7? Okay, number 7 actually has a trick, so make sure you guys are paying attention. It's a similar trick on number, we probably should talk about number 10. Number 7, what are the roots for number 7?
0, 1, -1, -2.
Right. 2, -1, 0, 1. So, what kind of function is this if it has 4 roots, 4 x's? It's called a yeah, the shape would be a W, but it's called a quartic function. If we multiplied all that stuff out, we get like x to the 4 plus, whatever. So it's a quartic function. Yeah, it should look like a W normally. So -2, -1, 0, 1. These are all pretty close together. So it's not going to go very far. Oh, I did something wrong. Forgot. Okay, there was something weird on number 7. Does anybody know what's weird on number 7? Possibly not. One of those x's on number 7 is negative. You guys see where I'm getting that from? So if we multiplied x times -x times x times x, what we would get with one negative is a -x to the 4th. So instead of a W, it's going to be upside down, and it would be an M shape. So I should have done this instead. Okay, so on number 10, would number 10 be like a positive function or a negative function? This is a very tricky question.
Yes.
In the parentheses, there's basically 2 negatives, because that would be squared. And outside the parentheses, there is 1 negative. That negative is not squared. So that makes 3 negatives. So number 10 is negative, so it should be going down, like number 7 is a quartic function as well. Okay, number 9. What are the roots for number 9? -1 and 2. But -1 is a triple root, right? Okay, it's a positive function, so our general shape would be a W, but the triple root's going to kind of mess with that. So when you have a triple root, so we're starting off like a W. It's going to approach that point, get very flat at that point, and then continue on through. Then it'll come back up again to go through that other point. So it doesn't really look much like a W at that point, but kind of is a deformed W. I wonder what the 0 of the function, or what the y-intercept is on that one. 1 times -2. Hey, that's almost perfect. All right. Number 11. Oh boy. Oh, I didn't think they went past. Okay, number 11 has 5 x's. Do you guys see that? So this assignment was misleading because I guess it does say graphs of polynomial functions. I thought it was just cubics and quartics. Okay. I did mention a 5th power. So remember the odd powers go like from down to up. So the 5th power would be like that one. Or if it was negative, it would go from up to down. So on number 11, though everything looks positive, so it'll go from down to up like this one. All right, what are the roots of the function for number 11? Okay, I'm going to put it in order to help myself. Is it -2, -1, 0, 1? Okay, and 0 is a double root. close together, so it's gonna look kinda weird. Okay, 0, that's my, hot spot right there, so it's gotta bounce when it hits 0, not go through. So, bounce, and then comes back up again. Alright, well, it is Wednesday, so we don't have a lot of time left, but, I'll do those other odds tomorrow, just kinda remind you what we did today.